I meet people pretty much every day who say, style isn't for me. That's for other people. That couldn't be more wrong. Style is for literally every person. If you are not a nudist, style is for you. A common misconception is that straight men, you out there, are worried that if you look too stylish, people are going to think you're gay. First of all, that would be quite the compliment. Second of all, that's not a concern. Nobody's going to think that. They will just think that you're a stylish man. Clothes don't make you gay. For most people who look at a fashion magazine or use Instagram and see bloggers or models or entertainers, they think, well, that's their world. That makes sense because they're in entertainment for a living or they're in the public eye for a living. You are still in your version of the public eye. People are seeing you. Unless you don't leave your house for a few years at a time, you have your own public image to protect, whether it be with your family, your friends, your colleagues. So your style does matter. I wasn't in entertainment up until 2.5 years ago, but style was still important to me and it helped mold my life. There is a way to incorporate style no matter whether you have an entertainer's budget or an average regular person budget. I did it on a shoestring budget for about 17 years. To anyone who thinks, well, it doesn't matter, clothes are just clothes, style is superficial, actually, it has had a massive impact on my life and everybody who I work with. And now I live the life that I only thought was a fantasy as a child. And it's because of clothes. And for many people, that may sound so shallow, but when you really do start to invest in your image and how you style yourself, it can really mold your whole life. I've always seen my wardrobe as being the vehicle to achieving what I want to achieve in my life. If I want to be taken seriously, I will dress a certain way, whether that be at work, in the dating world. I want to make sure that people see me first and foremost as somebody they should respect. And by making an effort with your style, by making conscious choices, you are saying, I'm worthy and I deserve your respect. We all live incredibly busy lives and it probably feels like your wardrobe is the last thing you should be focusing on because you've got bills to pay, you've got a job to do. The way you are presenting yourself to the world will help facilitate all those other things that are going on. If you're wanting to improve your social life, date somebody, get that promotion, your wardrobe will help facilitate that. There are certain people who say that there are no style rules. I disagree respectfully. Yes, I know that fashion is play, style is play, it should be fun. However, there are some basics that really help mold great style. And those things are important to consider. Yes, you want to have fun with style, but you also want to be well put together. No matter what style of clothing you're going for, no matter what genre of style you're going for, you still want to know some of the basic rules to make sure that you don't look like a 7-year-old playing dress up in mummy's clothes. Those rules often can be broken, but you need to know those rules before you can break them. There are truly just 2 rules to remember. It couldn't be more simple. Know your proportions and know who you are. Know your proportions and dress for your proportions. And I want to give an example of this, which is more of a cautionary tale. You may see on the runway the hottest supermodel of the moment, let's say for funsies, Gigi Hadid. Gigi does not have the figure of most average people. She is the exception to the rule and lucky her. Most of us don't look that way. And so if you see her wearing something and you think that looks wonderful, I'm going to recreate that. That probably isn't possible because we do not have her body shape. So know your proportions. Yes, that micro mini works on her. Is that going to work for you at 5 feet 2 inches? Maybe not. And so know your proportions. Know your body well. Do you have hips? Do you have a larger bosom? Do you have a tiny waist? Do you have a shorter frame? Do you have a much taller frame? Learn your proportions first before you even start to click online for something you might be looking for. I'm actually going to show you how to dress for your proportions, and we'll cover as many possible scenarios as we can. A basic style rule is learn who you are or who you want to be. If you're the kind of boy who doesn't want to wear a flat shoe and you want a 2-inch Cuban heel, go for it. If you are a woman who hates a dress, why would you think, oh, I need to try and find a way to incorporate that dress because that's what all the cool kids are wearing? It doesn't matter. Choose something else that is going to work for you. Know who you are and follow your own rules as far as style goes. Don't wear something that is not you, fundamentally not you, because it's going to affect your self-esteem. It's going to affect who you are. It's going to confuse you as a person. If I end up wearing something just because it's hot, I'm going to look at myself in the mirror and not know who I am. I'm not going to recognize myself. It sets me up for the day on a bad footing. I want to be able to look at myself and know I'm representing who I am completely, without a doubt. And so I'm sure that if you look back at some of the outfits that you really disliked and you regret wearing those things, it's probably because you were trying to keep up with Janet or Bob. Who cares about Janet and Bob? Do you? If you don't really know who you are yet, that's absolutely fine. Many of us are on a journey. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to guide you through it. So as you see, there aren't that many actual rules. It's so simple when it comes to the rules. However, there are a lot of rules that are a little more archaic that people still stick with and that might be encouraging you to not embrace style. And I want to talk about those right now and encourage you to let them go. First and foremost, if you are a curvy lady and you have hips, you have bosoms, sizable bosoms, it has been encouraged for you to wear A-line dresses or skirts to hide that and to minimize it. That's bull. Like, there's no reason to. If you love your hips and you know you look fantastically feminine, wear that bodycon moment, wear a pencil skirt. You're going to look better for it. I don't need you to hide away. Nobody needs you to hide away. This one's a rule that is simple. It's one that's talked about a lot. It's accessorizing. It's something that Coco Chanel talks about. When you are about to leave your house, take one last look at yourself and remove the last thing you put on. I'm going to go against that. I'm going to say, look at them in the mirror and think, is there one other thing that I can add that's going to add that final kiss of something that's going to make me feel amazing? I like more. And the reason I can do this is because I've decided what my second rule is going to be, which is I'm going to be myself, not Coco Chanel. And so I want a little more. And so when you look at yourself in the mirror, choose who you want to be, Coco Chanel or Tan France. Do you want to take something off or add something on? We have so many of our internal rules or our beliefs that are very much limiting when it comes to our style. We may have heard along the way from a parent or just in passing that you shouldn't do X, Y, Z. Style means X, Y, Z. That's something that you've heard, you've convinced yourself belongs to you also, and you've adopted as if it's gospel. For those of you who say, I can't pull off this kind of color, or I can't pull off this kind of shape, or I can't pull off that kind of trend, have you tried it? Have you actually tried it? I'm guilty of saying those things. In the past, I've said, I can't wear that color. And then once I tried it, I realized, oh, I love that color on me. I was always told that people of my skin tone can't wear that color. And one of those things is brown. This brown looks gorge on me. I love this brown suit on me. But I was told for years, oh, brown looks terrible on us. No, it doesn't. It looks lovely. Try it. You may surprise yourself. Step out of your comfort zone. Try that thing on that you were told you can't do, you can't wear, that's not going to look good on you. And you decide for yourself whether it looks good or not. Here's the thing about age. I used to think that of a certain age, a person should be wearing this. Of a certain age, somebody should be wearing that. That's not the case anymore. Times have changed so greatly. I think that those notions of age are quite outdated and somewhat archaic at this point. Now I think we live in a world where age shouldn't matter. We saw somebody incredible perform on a pole at the Super Bowl at the age of 50. If that person can do that, you can probably wear what that 25-year-old's wearing down the street. You're going to be all right. I think as long as it makes you feel good, as long as you want to play with style, as long as you want to find new ways of expressing yourself, I don't care if you're 25 or 55. If that thing makes you feel good, wonderful, go for it. And if even for a second you think this feels distasteful, it probably is. I will sometimes embrace clothing that somebody much younger than me is wearing. I am 36. And often these cool kid trends are for people in their very early 20s. And I see those and I love those. And so I will try it. But I will try it once or twice and I'll realize it just doesn't make me feel the way I want to feel, and I will get rid of it. You have to learn to self-edit. And that's my philosophy with anything at this point. It doesn't matter your gender, your race, your culture, your religion, none of those things. If something makes you feel just wonderful, go for it. But if you know in your heart that something feels off, also go with that gut feeling. The one guiding principle for great style or even simple style is keep it classic. When in doubt, keep it classic. You can't go wrong. Google what was stylish 50 years ago for a man. The most common outfit for a man. Google what was stylish for a man 30 years ago. What was stylish for a man 10 years ago. And the same for a woman. And if you can see a trend of one thing in particular, a few things in particular, then you know it's classic. And you will find that in a suit, a button-up, a great white tee, a pair of jeans, a great loafer, man or woman, or non-binary, all of those things work for every person across the globe. If you have a look that will be relatively classic, even within 15, 20, 30 years, that you can look back and say, on the whole, I look great. I would still wear many of those pieces. That, in my opinion, is great style. That's comfortable, classic, strong style. Incorporate more modern touches in there. Incorporate more contemporary touches in there so you still feel like you're playful. But just always think, could I see myself in that in 15 years' time? Or will I look back in 15 years' time and find that laughable? That probably isn't the look for you. I have a few things that are, I call them never do or never wear. You may disagree, and this may be one of those things where you think, well, Tan France said it, but that's my story, that's my vibe, so be it. I will always disagree with you, but if you are confident enough to wear it, so be it. Jelly shoes. If you are over 7 years old, you do not need jelly shoes in your life. You will look immature and a little childish. But if you insist on doing it, so be it. Will I point and laugh? Probably. It's definitely not a good look for anyone over 7. I mean, board shorts are heinous, but Chris Hemsworth wears them and he looks wonderful. I guess if you have the confidence to wear board shorts and you choose to look shorter than you are, so be it. I just think it doesn't do your body any favors. Board shorts are just going to make you look shorter and wider, whereas if you're wearing shorter shorts, it just makes you look tall, sexy. Who doesn't want to look sexy in their swimwear? You know, one other thing. God, I've got a lot apparently. I thought I didn't have that many rules. I just think too many ruffles are too many ruffles. We are not 6. I like a ruffle. The 17th layer of ruffle is probably excessive. Just 1 ruffle is fine. 2 ruffles is 3 ruffles, we've gone too far. Calm down, dear. You know what was a big no-no until probably 2 months ago was bootcut jeans. Loathe them. I have loathed them for the longest time, probably 20 years since I wore them, and I thought they will never come back. They should never come back. They died, and good riddance. However, they're back, and now I have a pair. But it's all about how you wear them. So what I will say is, please, please avoid wearing your bootcut jeans with a pair of sneakers. It's just too 90s. It's just rough. And we got through it the first time. I don't know if we'll get through it a second. Just avoid it. And if you really choose a life of the opposite of celibacy, you just don't want to wear those.